Greetings and salutations. How's everybody doing today? I come to you today once again in San Marcos, Texas, and we are now firmly in the post Equinox new moon ascension portal era. We have entered into a new state of vibratory existence. You may feel it, and the insights and experiences that we've gone through in the past 3 odd weeks or so have grounded in, and we now exist in a higher vibratory state. Now, in that 3 week period, you may have noticed that colors got brighter, that your vision, even if it didn't get better as far as your eyesight is concerned, seems to have clarified in some way, shape, or form. And don't feel alarmed. It was not just you for which that happened. It happened for a lot of people. We're experiencing now what they call the splitting of the worlds, meaning that those who are of a certain vibratory resonance experience the world in a different way than you or I do. It also means that our interactions with people of that nature will not be as intense or as often as they have been in the past. What that means for our lived experience is that if we are in the presence of people who are of a psychopathic and sociopathic nature, they are in your life for a reason. That reason is because somehow that individual is not fully lost, and that their interaction with you can indeed help them to achieve a higher state of vibratory resonance within their lifetimes. And somehow you are important to that effort. So anytime that we experience someone who seems to have a lower vibratory nature, don't let the appearances deceive you. There may be something there for you to experience, for you to take as a lesson for yourself moving forward. It may be an opportunity for you to go within and look and see how you can commiserate with that individual. See if there is some form of compassion that you feel, something within them that you empathize with, that you recognize as a part of who you used to be or what you used to experience, or someone close to you. As the splitting of the worlds has progressed, we have seen that we seem to exist in two separate realities. It seems that the world is getting crazier and crazier around us. You look at the national news and the international news, and it looks like everything is going to hell in a handbasket, and literally it is. Now, I don't really want to get into the political aspect of things to talk about the deep state versus Trump factions, QAnon, and all of that other stuff that's going on. I personally have a wait and see attitude in regard to all of that. I am wary because I have paid very close attention to such things in the past, and there are many predictions that are made that have been made many times in the past and that have never come to fruition. So I'm going to wait until I see what happens with a lot of these events that are predicted to occur in the near future. It's always the near future. It's always something that's going to happen. So I'm going to go, as I usually do, with what's in my gut and what my actual lived experience is. And in this case, I think that lived experience calls me to speak to you about this. About nature, about life as lived, and about our connection with nature, and about how we can use that connection in order to become more grounded into the current energies and the current reality, and how nature is always there to support us in this. Once again, speaking to the splitting of the worlds. The world belongs to all of us, and a lot of people have been talking about 5D and shifting into a 5D reality, and they make it sound like something is about to happen where we're going to exist in an entirely different world as people who are not in the same vibratory state that we are in. Well, that is not how it seems to be happening. It seems that we will continue to exist in the actual same physical world and existence, but what happens is that we don't necessarily interact as closely with those people as we may have in the past. One thing that I have noticed is that when I am around people of a certain vibration, and it's always been this way for me in my life, They do not interact with me. Sometimes I'll look at them and I'll see them look at me and they'll look away. Or if they are bold enough, sometimes they will look at me and meet eyes and lock eyes, but they will never come to me and speak to me directly about anything. And my interactions with them always have been at a distance. The very few times that I have interacted with people who I would call sociopathic in nature, those individuals have been what I would call to be in a redeemable state. Our interactions have left them with something that I hope that they were able to take forward into the rest of their lives. And I hope the interaction was meaningful. So our interactions with people of different vibratory resonances will decrease depending upon our state of awareness now and our state of vibratory resonance at this current time, which will continue to rarefy if you are self-aware enough to continue your awakening practices, which may include meditations of different types, physical changes to your body, like eating different types of food, maybe eating less meat, things of that sort, exercising more, going out, doing yoga, all of the things that you would think of in order to increase your vibrations. So, recognizing the reality that we currently live in and its implications upon the world is apparent in every aspect of our lives. And it should be relatively easy for you to see those signs in your life as you travel through your day. Something that might have upset you a month ago, 3 weeks ago, doesn't seem to have the same effect. In fact, as you're sitting here right now listening to me, if you think about the last few days, tell me, has it been a little bit more peaceful than usual? Have you experienced this deep and abiding calm and you seem to exist in the center of it at a level of awareness where you feel like a point of awareness in this infinite sea totally surrounding you, as if you were totally calm, totally at peace? When you've had the opportunity to gain any type of emotional vibratory increase, like being upset about anything, being angry at anything, even being sad at something, doesn't it seem like you have a conscious choice in the matter now, somehow? As if you can decide in that moment whether or not you're going to be upset, if you're going to be mad, if you're going to express that emotion in words. It seems like there's been a space of time added to it, doesn't it? As if there's been like this microsecond or something that seems to last forever where you can make the choice to be positive about something or to be negative. Now, in many cases, our attitudes and our habits come into play when this occurs. And what our body generally does, what we generally do in response to external stimuli that raises our emotion, that causes the cascade of neuropeptides to enter our bodies from our brain, they enter still, but in a less intense state. Again, as if we're existing in some sort of deep, deep state of calm, whereby we are able to experience life as more of a, what's the word? As more of an observer. It's a word that the Buddhists use, and that the people who follow Zen meditation practices use as well. And it refers to that state of being whereby you are the actual observer which exists behind the thoughts, beneath the thoughts. That quality of beingness, of consciousness that just observes. It sees everything, and it's behind all of the stuff, all of the detritus in our minds that we call ourselves, which basically is referring to our personality complexes. Now, if you've been in this game for a while and you've been practicing meditation and things of that sort, then it should come easier to you. And this entire ascension process has seemed as if it has been just another phase of your own journey, your own personal spiritual evolution. And this is all well and good, and as it should be. We have been blessed, or lucky, if you like, to have been born in what the Chinese might have called interesting times. Times where the ability to transform ourselves and to ascend to a higher state of being is kind of built in to our everyday sojourn through life. as outer events act upon us and affect our everyday lived events, inner events also rise up and affect our level of consciousness, and we're dealing with the external and the internal simultaneously. So it's a very, very intense time to be a human, to be alive in this world, and to be interacting with other souls that are going through the exact same process. We never know where another person is at, although when our auras first interact with others, we can indeed sense what their state of being is. They say that first impressions are lasting impressions, and that's true. Depending upon your connection with your own awareness and whether or not you trust your senses or not, you can generally tell whether or not someone vibrates at the same resonance as you do, or close to it upon first meeting. And again, this goes back to the splitting of the worlds once again, and how our interactions with folks of a different mentality and different resonance level is going to shift out and become less frequent, depending upon the rarefication process that we go through individually. So you can feel it, right? You can feel that sense of calm. You can feel that sense of, yes, I am alive right now. And it is beholden upon each of us to cultivate this sense of peace and to deepen it to the best of our abilities, because the process isn't over. What we've gone through is not done, not by a long shot, because there is no end. And I've spoken on this before as well. We just have to prepare ourselves for what comes next. And once we've achieved an aim, we have to settle into that, ground it in, and then prepare for the next cycle to come. Right now is a good time to enjoy the moment, to enjoy your life, to ground into your life and fully accept and own everything that exists around you in this world, because this is all a choice that you've made. Everything around you is a part of choices that you've made in the past that have led you to this very moment. And so, because that is true, that means that you have made no mistakes. Everything is exactly as it is supposed to be. And accepting that is a large part of becoming peaceful and claiming the calm sense of belongingness that is yours, that is your birthright. Own your life. Own every single moment of your life. Own your choices. It's an integral part of achieving clarity and of manifesting truly all of who you were born to be. As we continue this journey, it's imperative that we continue to pay attention to these signs. Like right now, this deep sense of peace is internal, but it's also external. It's shared by other people. And for those who are of a different resonance than you, who may resonate to lower vibrations, they are experiencing it differently, as they have been experiencing it differently since time immemorial. The energies affect us all, depending upon who we are and who we have created ourselves to be. And now, the realization that this is indeed the case is coming home for a lot of people who may have been spiraled out into different conceptions of love and light, and how the world is beautiful and ugliness is an illusion or something that's within us. Well, it's outside too, and it's in more than just the human family. It's an energetic and necessary expression of creation itself. I don't think I've talked about it directly, but the dark divine masculine and the dark divine feminine have been in a dance for many millennia. And the energies of both of these polar expressions have risen, and we've seen the darkness. It's our history. Right now, as we come out of that spiral, as we raise above the level of consciousness this planet has existed within for quite a long time, we have to inculcate new habits as a species, as a human family. And that is what we are in the process of doing right now. We are hammering it out, one with the other. What will the new world be like? How are we going to take the old world and purify it, crystallize this new earth that is coming or that is here? These are the questions that affect us. These are the questions that we are taking into the new tomorrow that we are creating together. And these are questions that we'll explore and continue to talk about as we continue to move forward. That's all for today. Peace.